The Reggae Boyz are set to face Trinidad and Tobago in Trinidad in the World Cup Qualifiers on November 13th. And here are 5 things to know before the game.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz. I hear that. Don't know something that Gunnaz may say, but big up Gunnaz.
Hello and welcome back to the Gunnaz podcast. I'm your host, Dicanio, an Arsenal fan who covers everything Reggae Boyz and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, remember to hit that like button. Every single video I do on this channel must get to 200 likes. So just go ahead and hit the like button. Once you watch the video, you enjoy the content or you appreciate the content, just hit that like button. It's a very free way to support the channel. Another free way to support the channel as well is to hit that subscribe button. We're on a goal to 6,000 subscribers before the end of this month, November. And I know that we can do it. So just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, again, people, in this video, I'm going to be going through 5 things that you all need to know before the game against Trinidad, which is set to kick off tomorrow. The first thing that you all need to know is that we have a few players that are in form. There's Damar, who's scored 2 goals in his last, I believe, 2 games for Birmingham City. Birmingham are flying. They had a little dip in the season where they lost a couple of games and drew 1, but they're back again flying, demolishing teams, and Damar is flourishing in that team, wearing the number 10. The most informed player heading into this camp, however, is Romain Burrell. Last camp, he did not feature, so he was in the squad, but he did not play a single minute. It's interesting to see if he will get game time this window, as he is our most informed striker. I believe he scored in the past 5 games in the championship for QPR, which is the same team that Isaac Hayden plays for. So QPR has been on a dipping run of form. He has been scoring, but the thing is with Burrell is when he scores, his team concedes right after. So he is in form, but his team not so much. But it's going to be, again, interesting to see if he does get game time this window, since he is an informed player. Other players that have been doing well as well, Bobby Reid, who scored a class goal over the weekend to help Leicester win their game by 2-1. Dijon Whisper Richards is back fit, firing, and starting games for Chelsea. Might not be scoring or assisting as much, but if you look at the highlights of his game, his maturity for that level, it's top-notch. He almost always makes the best decisions. He makes football looks so simple playing on the right wing. Knows when to pass, knows when to pass on the overlap, knows when to pass on the underlap, knows when to cross the ball, knows when to shoot. His decision making and simplicity in the way how he goes about doing it is what makes him stand out. And I think he has to start on that right wing 100%. Now, next up, other persons who we know might not be performing 100% for their clubs, but when they put it in the national shirt, they are performing, and that is Boza and Dixon. Now, Dixon isn't getting the goals and assists for Crawley Town, but if you watch the actual games and look at the stats, he is very influential to the way that they play and them with the results that they are getting. The second thing that you all need to know is that prices for the bleacher section is heavily discounted if you're a Visa card holder, right? So if you have a Visa card, credit or debit, I would suggest the moment you see this video, if you want to go bleachers, go buy a bleachers ticket. The cost was normally $2,000, but if you have a Visa card, you're going to pay $1,200. That's a 40% discount. You literally get $800 off. So if you want to save a little bit of cash, go ahead and use that Visa card that you have, and you'll get a discount for the bleachers tickets. Now, I tried it on the premium bleachers, but I was not able to get that discount on premium bleachers. I haven't tried it for grandstand or VIP. So I'm guessing that it's only for bleachers. So if you plan to go to bleachers and you have a Visa card, I know somebody with a Visa card, use your Visa card and get the discount, right? Or you can ask a friend that has a Visa card to buy it, and you just give them that money in cash, right? So that's the second thing that you guys need to know. If you want to make use of the discount, just go ahead and use your Visa card to buy those bleachers tickets. The third thing that you need to know is that if Bermuda wins and we win, we will qualify for the World Cup. All right. Now, that's one specific scenario. I'll talk about other scenarios later on in the video, so stay tuned to see the different scenarios in which Jamaica can qualify. But if Bermuda beats Curacao and we beat Trinidad, we qualify for the World Cup with a game to spare. All right. The fourth thing that you need to know is that these final two games are career-shaping fixtures for a lot of our senior players. A lot of these players, this is their last chance at a World Cup qualification and playing in a World Cup due to their age. These players, you look on Damari Gray, you look on Ethan Pinnock, who is about 32 now, you look on Damian Lowe, we are 32, you look on Andre Blake, we are 34, you look on Bobby Reed, that's at 32. In 4 years' time after this World Cup, they're literally going to be 36, 37-year-old players. And we all know that that is not the route that the JFF and the technical staff are looking to go as it relates to older players. They are looking to bring up those younger players, which is why they are integrating them into these national teams. So for those players, I expect them to go out there and play the best game of their lives and show heart and sweat on that pitch, knowing that this is their last possible chance to do this and to make a World Cup and play in a World Cup, which is why a lot of them initially committed about around 4 or 5 years ago to this project. So I expect to see the leadership. I expect to see the hunger and the guts of these players. And as we all know, the young players won't disappoint us. They'll go out there, they'll do their best, and they will perform. It's really up to those experienced players to really guide them and to really make sure that they're putting in their end of their share of the work. Now, the final thing that you all need to know. Now, this is a section where I'm going to talk a bit about different ways and scenarios that we can qualify. But even before I head into that, the final thing is that if we lose our draw against Trinidad, we must all show up at the National Stadium on the 18th with positivity and no negativity for 90 minutes. Because if we lose our draw against Trinidad, it is still in our hands. All we have to do is win our final game at the National Stadium on the 18th, and we qualify. Right? So it's still in our hands now. We're leading the table and we have 2 games to go. We win the 2 games, we'll go through. We win one and we draw one, we'll go through. Right? So, or even if we win one alone, we'll go through. So people, it's just a matter of making sure that even if they disappoint us tomorrow at Trinidad, you see, we still come out and give them the support and make sure that this nation gets to the World Cup in 2026. Now, the final thing that I want to mention are the 3 scenarios or 3 different ways that we can qualify. So the first one, for us to directly qualify. And again, we can qualify by going to the playoffs, but we don't necessarily want that. Because if we go to the playoffs, we are looking playing African teams, South American teams, playing a lot of teams like Nigeria and stuff like that. We don't want to them mix up and blame them the people. So if we want to qualify directly, we have to win this group. And ways we can win this group is if we draw with Trinidad and Curacao draws or loses to Bermuda, we will qualify. So that's the first way. The second way is if we beat Trinidad and Curacao loses to Bermuda. Now, that would mean that the final game on the 18th wouldn't matter. Because if Bermuda managed to take 3 points off Curacao and we beat Trinidad in yard, we automatically qualify for the World Cup. The final way that we can directly qualify is if we beat Curacao on the 18th. So again, no matter what happened against Trinidad, people, we know that if we beat Curacao at our own home ground on the 18th, next week, Tuesday, we qualify for the World Cup. So all roads lead to that game. I know the Trinidad game is going to be very difficult, and a lot of people are not writing us off because we are the favorites, but we know how Jamaica stay, and Jamaica always get things done the hardest piece of way. So we kind of accept the fact that we might not win the Trinidad game. We will take a draw, or if we lose, it not surprise we, because we've seen bad performances in the past. We are expected to win. The bookies have us as the favorites. We know we are the favorites, but again, the ball is round, and you never know where you get from this national team. But despite what happens tomorrow, we all know that if we can just put everything on that football pitch next week, Tuesday, we will qualify once we beat Curacao. So those are the 5 things that you need to know heading into this final 2 games against Trinidad and Curacao, but specifically for this Trinidad game. You guys can expect a match review after the game against Trinidad. You can expect another 5 things to know before the Curacao match. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I do post videos in this crucial period. Remember, people, believe in us, Steve. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz. I hear like, don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.